What if I told you that the first city in the world, a city older than older than Babylon, and maybe even older than Egypt's pyramids, has been sitting in the southern deserts of Iraq, almost untouched, for the last 100 years? It's called Eridu, where the Sumerians said civilization began. According to their king's list, Eridu was the first place where kingship descended from heaven. It was the seat of the god Enki, lord of the deep waters. But here's where it gets interesting. In the Bible, the generations before the flood are described as a time when humanity was corrupted by supernatural beings and forbidden knowledge. Some scholars believe that Eridu might not be just the first city, but it could be the place where the pre-flood world made its final stand.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
And some things that should not have been forgotten were lost.
Man shall be ruled by law, not by the will of other men.
What is it? An ark. To hold the innocent, and the Creator sends his deluge to wipe out the wicked from this world.
The Lord of hosts will do battle for us. Behold his mighty hand.
Eridu is known today as Tel Abu Shahrain, just a low mound in the desert marshlands of southern Iraq. It doesn't look like much, but beneath the sand lies the remains of the world's first true city. Mainstream archaeologists have traced Eridu back over 7,000 years into the Ubaid period, before the rise of or Uruk. What they found is extraordinary. At least 17 successive temples, stacked one on top of the other, each rebuilt bigger than the last. A shrine to Enki, the god of the freshwater abyss, the E-abzu, where the ancients said wisdom and knowledge came from the deep. A massive unfinished ziggurat with bricks stamped with the name of Ur-Nammu, one of Sumer's great kings. And an Ubaid-era cemetery with nearly 1,000 burials, some with elongated skulls and strange figurines. To the Sumerians, Eridu wasn't just a city, it was sacred ground. In their myths, the gods chose Eridu as a place to descend and to teach humanity. Now compare that with the Bible. In Genesis, before the flood, we read of a world filled with corruption, violence, and divine rebellion. A world where the sons of God came down and gave humanity forbidden knowledge. Could it be that Eridu was the Sumerian memory of that same era? Perhaps one of the cities of Cain, or a city of knowledge built under the guidance of beings humanity wasn't meant to follow. Now, you'd think that archaeologists would be all over this site, but the strangest part is that after the late 1940s, excavation has basically stopped. A team led by Iraqi archaeologist Fuad Safar and British scholar Seton Lloyd dug between 1946 and 1949. They uncovered the temple sequence, the graves, the artifacts, but then nothing. Their final report didn't even appear until 1981, more than 30 years later, and by then, most of the site had been backfilled and covered over with sand again. So compare this to or Uruk, sites nearby that saw decades of excavation. Gave us the royal tombs and treasures of Queen Puabi. Uruk revealed massive temples and cuneiform tablets. But Eridu, the first city, has barely been touched since Truman was president. Why? You know, throughout history, some of the most fascinating and thought-provoking moments have happened behind the scenes, in the inner circles, from the councils of ancient empires to the Last Supper, from secret plots against kings to quiet grassroots rebellions. What happens in secret often matters most. So that's why I created a place for our own inner circle over on Patreon. It's where the most dedicated members of this channel gather to go deeper down the rabbit holes, help shape future topics, and see raw, unfiltered behind-the-scenes episodes you won't find anywhere else. So meet us there, join the council, and see for yourself why what happens in secret changes everything. Now let's fast forward to the 2010s. Eridu becomes part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site listing called the Awar of southern Iraq. Suddenly, Eridu has guards stationed around it. Access is tightly controlled. And the official explanation? Conservation. According to UNESCO, Eridu's mud brick ruins are too fragile. Exposing them would cause irreversible erosion. Their focus, they say, is not excavation, but preservation. This might sound reasonable until you realize something. The exact same rationale is used at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, another site considered one of the oldest in the world. Another site with temples aligned to stars where mainstream archaeology says we're not digging anymore, we're just conserving. Two of the world's oldest and most mysterious sites, both guarded, both frozen in time, both feeding speculation that the real secrets of human origins are still buried just a few meters below the surface. So, what's really going on here? Let's break down the facts and the speculation. Fact number 1 is Eridu is officially protected for conservation. Mud brick doesn't last long when exposed, that's true, even though it's a desert and it's been exposed for thousands of years, but I digress. Fact number 2 is Eridu's excavation history has massive gaps. From 1949 until the 2010s, no serious digging was done. Even today, new work is limited to surveys and surface finds. And fact number 3 is UNESCO and the Iraqi government have a site management plan that emphasizes tourism and heritage, not digging and exploration. Some say that UNESCO and the global elites don't want Eridu fully excavated because it could rewrite human history. Imagine if we found clear evidence of a pre-flood civilization or something that confirmed the biblical account. That would change everything. And others argue the truth is more boring. Wars, lack of funding, and politics simply kept archaeologists away. Iraq in the 20th century wasn't exactly welcoming for international digs. And the third angle is control of the narrative. Sites like Göbekli Tepe and Eridu attract fringe theories about aliens, lost civilizations, and even Eden itself. So by keeping them partially buried, authorities can keep the speculation alive without risking possible discoveries that challenge their version of history. So, which is it? Well, let's look at the pattern. Göbekli Tepe is the oldest known temple, deliberately buried, and today only a fraction is excavated. Eridu, the first city, tied to myths of gods and the flood, and after 1949, it's barely been touched. Both sites are ancient, both guarded, both subject to strict conservation-only policies. Now, is this just all coincidence? Or is this part of a larger strategy to control the story of human origin? At the end of the day, here are some of the facts. Eridu is real. It's the oldest known city in Mesopotamia. Its temples for Enki were rebuilt again and again for thousands of years. Its graves hold strange figurines and elongated skulls. Its myths connect directly to the Bible's pre-flood world. And yet, for nearly a century, the city has remained mostly buried. Archaeologists tell us it's about conservation. Critics tell us it's about suppression. But what do you think? Is Eridu simply too fragile to dig? Or is there something under those sands of southern Iraq that they don't want us to see? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Eridu holds the key to humanity's forgotten past? Or is the story just archaeology's slow grind mixed with a little bureaucracy? Hit like, subscribe, and share this video if you want more investigations into the hidden history of the ancient world. And speaking of which, to learn more about the pre-flood world and how its advanced technology could have spread across the entire world, click right here for my deep dive into the global civilization of Atlantis. Because the past isn't just history, it's a mystery, and sometimes it's glory concealed.